It's Monday morning and you are sleep deprived. You hit snooze on your alarm 5 times before you finally get out of bed. You chug your coffee because you're already late to work. You put on your coat and you run out the door and you feel miserable. But your mornings don't have to keep looking like this. My name is Travis and I'm a therapist who's passionate about self-development, and today we're going into how to create a morning routine so that you don't hate your mornings. So why do most people hate their mornings so much? I think it comes down to 2 main reasons. Most people in the morning are absolutely tired and groggy, and we feel a lack of clarity in the morning. And these 2 things combined can be a deadly combination. The first thing to understand in planning a great morning routine is that your morning routine actually starts the night before. I know you may have heard this many times, but really you have to internalize this. Getting a good night's sleep in both quantity and quality is going to be paramount to your success in the morning. And in addition to that, a good way to avoid this lack of clarity and decision fatigue in the morning when you get up and you're like, do I brush my teeth first? Do I scroll on my phone first? Do I check the news first? What do I do? Is you plan what you want to do the next day the night before. That way, when our mental faculties aren't loaded up enough, we can just kind of go according to a pre-existing plan. Something that I personally like to do is I like to set alarms on my phone throughout the day to remind me of things I need to do. Now, I'm not setting an alarm every 5 minutes in the morning to remind me of different things, but just generally throughout my day. And what I find this does is it reduces my stress the night before because I already know I'm not going to forget what I need to do the next day, and I already have a plan for when I'm going to do it. So that reduces the decision fatigue when I'm actually engaging in an activity the next day. And for your morning, you can do a similar idea where you just plan what your morning looks like. Having a morning routine, no matter what it is, having a set structure of what you're going to do is going to be super beneficial just to reduce this morning stress and morning fatigue. But what happens when you actually wake up? You clicked on this video for a morning routine, so now it's the morning. You get out of bed. What do? The most important thing I can say is to stay away from your phone as much as possible. Most people, when we get up, okay, our phone's right next to our bed, we pick it up, we start scrolling on social media, and by then, our brain is already fried. What this does is it activates our tired dopamine receptors in our brain so intensely that now our brain's just craving more and more of this short attention. We're going to get this constant blast of, okay, oh, here's something interesting, here's something interesting, here's something shiny. We're going to be distracted before we even start our day. That's going to make it way more difficult to focus on things that we actually want to get done. And this is why sometimes we feel like we have our brain all over the place in the morning. And we're like, why did my morning routine take me an hour when I know it should have taken me 20, 30 minutes to get ready? Well, it's probably this idea that our attention is already so scattered. So my best advice is to stay off your phone until you're absolutely done with your morning routine. Then if you want to check your notifications, that you can. And on top of that, beyond your morning, trying to stay off social media like at least until lunchtime, ideally as long as possible, but let's say at least until lunchtime. That way you let your body adapt to what you need to do throughout the day, and you can properly align your focus with your tasks of the day. Besides for staying away from your phone, hydration is paramount. When we go to sleep, and let's say you get a good night's sleep, good quality and good quantity, you probably haven't been drinking water for a few hours before bed, and now you haven't been drinking water the whole time that you've been asleep. So when you wake up, it's important to properly hydrate. We need more water than we think. Just a tiny little bit, taking a little sip in the morning might feel good, but that's not going to be enough to properly hydrate. And this is going to depend on each person. You want to experiment a little bit, try more, try less water, and see what actually makes you feel more awake. On top of this, getting morning sunlight, getting movement in the morning, whether it's a short walk, doing a few push-ups, just any sort of physical activity to get your heart rate up is going to be super important because it increases our cortisol level. Now, I know cortisol is a big bad word, and you've probably heard of that related to stress, but the truth is, cortisol in the morning and a little bit of stress is actually healthy for us. And what we want to do is we want to raise our cortisol levels in a healthy, controlled way so that we can increase our energy and focus in the morning, and that we can actually lower it as the day goes on, and this will help us get a better night's sleep. So the cycle builds on itself, is that we increase our cortisol in the morning, and then it dips throughout the day, and by the time it's bedtime, we're actually tired enough, our brain is not as aroused anymore, so that we can actually fall asleep and have a better day the next day. Now, when we hydrate, we get movement in the morning, we get sunlight, this does a few things for us. It's going to boost our energy levels because it's going to align our body with a healthier circadian rhythm. We want to feel awake when it's daytime, and we want to feel tired when it's nighttime. And the best way to do that is to let the light receptors in our eyes actually recognize that it's daytime as early as possible when we get up. Now, vitamin D and getting natural sunlight is also very important for boosting mood and a lot of emotional and mental health regulation. So This is really important for a variety of reasons. If for some reason you can't do that, let's say it's winter and you live really far up north and you can't have access to sunlight so readily, or you get up before the sun comes up, getting a sun lamp is going to be, it's not a perfect substitute, but it's a good substitute. Now, beyond the physical things you do in the morning, one of the more important things to do is to set your intention for the day. When we're tired and we have a lack of clarity, our mind is all over the place. And most of the time, the mornings suck because we feel aimless. So knowing what you want to achieve that day, knowing what the purpose of that day is in the scheme of your greater goals, is going to be fundamental for just feeling invigorated for the day. You actually feel excited to get up rather than, oh man, I have to do another day. Now you're going to feel, okay, I know what I'm getting up for. If we know why we're getting up, we know what we're doing, we know what our purpose is for the day, that's going to be so much more invigorating than just fighting that battle of, well, my bed's comfy, I kind of feel comfortable, I don't really want to do this today. When we know what we're getting up for, we can really start our day with a tremendous boost. So how do we practically set intention throughout the day? Okay, this can look like different things for different people. If you're a spiritual person, you can pray, you can meditate, or sometimes just sitting and thinking, what do I want to do today? And in your mind, visualizing the success that you hope to achieve during the day. This is great because our body has a hard time distinguishing between visualization and actually achieving something. So this is going to be a healthy way to activate our dopamine receptors in our brain, and it's going to inspire us to go forth and try to achieve during our day. And when we get a motivation boost, this is going to make our energy feel up, it's going to boost our mood, and all of a sudden we feel invigorated in the morning. And after we set our intention, maybe the most important thing to keep this momentum going is to actually do something purposeful. Now, if you enjoy your work and you're getting up close to work, go to work and do something meaningful, amazing. But for many people who, okay, I do my job, but I don't necessarily enjoy it, or you're a student, you don't love classes, find something in the morning, whether that's a side project, whether you want to grow a business, whether you want to create art, whether you want to do whatever purposeful activity, make sure you prioritize that and do a little bit of it in the morning. It could literally be 10 minutes of drawing, 10 minutes of painting, something that makes you feel like you move the needle on your personal growth in some meaningful way is going to be a powerful way to feel great in the morning. So this was a lot of information. What do we do with all this? We prioritize the most important things. Make changes slowly but surely at a time. If you're currently sleeping 4 hours a night, you're not going to go to 8 overnight. That's probably not realistic without totally messing up your schedule. So slowly but surely, make sure you're getting a better night's sleep. Plan your day the night before. In the morning, you want to do a few physical health practices of moving, getting sunlight, and hydrating. And then just as importantly, the mental game, you want to set your intention and do something purposeful in the morning to set you on a proper path. I hope you found this valuable. Let me know in the comments what you do to make your mornings awesome. And if you want more life-changing content, click the video right here. And remember to hit life on all cylinders.